All right, let's go to our next story. You know, a morbid criminal is who he truly is, a person that's very interested in very unpleasant things, especially death. Notorious bandit leader Bello Turji fits the bill here. The hardened bandit has imposed a levy of 22 million naira on 4 villages in Sokoto State over the killing of one of his men in a military operation in the area. The 4 villages include Garin Idi, I hope I got that right, the hometown of the Garin Idi, the hometown of the incumbent deputy governor of the state, Idris Gobir. Meanwhile, the chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has vowed that the army would go after Turji, as his days are numbered. BKO.
Yes, this boy has been harassing not just the Nigerian people, but the Nigerian army for some time. And they've been able to kill some of his lieutenants.
Yeah.
They've been able to lay hands on his armorer, but he's been elusive so far because he understands the Zamfara, Sokoto terrain very well. Yeah. You know, he's actually from Shinkafi.
Oh, really?
But he does not stay in one place. He's very mobile. Okay. Yes, he's from Shinkafi local government. He does not stay in one place. He moves around. So they found it difficult to pin him down. But I believe that just the same way they've been able to kill Boderi and some of the bandit leaders, especially in Kaduna State, they are going to get him. Because, look, as I've said in the past, he is not necessarily the most dangerous.
Okay.
But because he tried to give himself publicity by shooting videos the way Shekau used to do, then he unwittingly drew attention to himself. There are more dangerous bandits operating in the Northwest than Bello Turji. There's a bandit leader in Zamfara that is more dangerous than Bello Turji in terms of the number of people that he has killed, in terms of the regularity with which they carry out attacks in his own area. But people don't talk about them as much as they talk about this boy because of the fact that he shot a video and is constantly talking and all that. So the people have been going through hell in his hands. They must pay levy before they can access their farms. If they don't pay, they risk losing their lives. Now, because one of his own boys was killed now, he's now gone to impose levy on the people that they must pay if they want peace. What the army can do is to intensify their efforts to get rid of him. We don't even need him to be arrested.
Okay.
These guys do not deserve to live with us. Bandits, especially bandits in northern Nigeria, they are not human beings. Honestly, in terms of the way some of them are hard-nosed negotiators. Because when somebody kidnaps an individual and they tell you that they've tried their best, they've sold their cars, they've sold their houses, and they can only find a fraction of what you're asking for, these boys will still hold on to that person. Or sometimes they will even take the life of the person. What they now do, what these boys now do is they sell kidnap people to other gangs, which will make life more difficult for families of victims. If they sell to another gang, it means that what those ones will ask for by way of ransom will be higher than what...
From frying pan to fire.
Yes, that's what they are doing now. So the bigger bandits are able to even buy victims from the smaller bandits. People like Bello Turji have some smaller guys working for them. If they kidnap those ones, they will now hand them over to Bello Turji, and Bello Turji will... That was what Shekau was trying to do with the government science secondary school, Kankara boys in Katsina.
Okay.
He was negotiating But the Katsina authorities and the military were lucky that they were able to close their negotiations on time. If they had handed those kids over to Shekau,
it would have been good night.
it would have been. When I said at that time that Shekau was the mastermind of the Kankara kidnap,
Yeah.
somebody, so one of the spokespersons of the former administration was abusing me. He went on Twitter. Ignorant people. He was abusing me. Invariably, we got to know. It was public knowledge invariably that Shekau was, even Shekau announced that he worked with those people. Shekau actually owned, he took responsibility for the kidnap and said he was working with those people. But I said it earlier, the guy thought I was lying, that, oh, this. I said, if Shekau was not the mastermind, he would not claim it. All they wanted to do at that time was show to us that, oh,
draw attention to themselves.
That Boko Haram has not gone all the way to the northwest and north central. But we saw with even the kidnap of the train passengers that it was Boko Haram that organized it. Speaking for government is not simply an opportunity for you to abuse people and say, oh, this one does not make any sense. At the end of the day, how do you feel when what you are denying didn't happen becomes known to the whole world?
Of course, as we say, everybody is entitled to his opinion, but everybody is not entitled to his facts.
Don't dismiss opinions expressed by people who have chosen to seek information on a matter that you know next to nothing about. It's not in every case that you must support the government.
All right, folks, we'll go on a commercial break now. We'll return shortly. Please stay with us. Thank you. Okay, folks, welcome back. We were talking about Bello Turji, the errant bandit giving us trouble.
Yes, I am. It's so sad that Turji is still this powerful. Because, you know, at a time, both the National Security Advisor and the Minister of State for Defense gave us assurances that they were on his trail and that very soon they were going to liquidate him. And the guy has been evasive for a long time now. And I want to appeal to our security forces that they have to double their efforts, because the guy has committed so many atrocities, and the state singularly, it was mentioned, both the National Security Advisor and the Minister of State for Defense actually mentioned him to say, look, we are closing in on him. And they recorded some successes because they were able to get some of his commanders and people close to him. But you see, but to come back and put a levy on villages is, let me just say, it's unacceptable. You know, because apart from inconveniencing those people,
they kidnapped some people and
yes,
they asked for ransom.
Apart from
they killed his one of his aides.
Yes.
So
he wants
fighting
to
back.
punish them for
So
that.
yes, but you see, because my problem now is that apart from the inconveniences to those villagers, they won't be able to access their funds, and they have to now look for money to pay. It's like thumbing your nose towards our government to say, look, you guys said you want to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm still around and I'm in charge. I don't think we should accept that. I don't think we should accept that.
The army
I
chief
know they are doing their best. I know the army they're doing their best, but they should put more efforts. We must not allow anybody to take the Nigerian state for granted.
We must call his bluff.
Yes, we must call that bluff.
Enough is already too much.
Because already they mentioned that they were closing in on him.
Yeah.
And like I said, National Security Advisor mentioned his name to say, look, this particular person, we are closing in on him and we are going to get him. And then for him to now come back and now impose levies, it's like he's telling government to say that, you know, it's not a matter of you want to close in and kill me. I'm still going to make life more miserable for your people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that is acceptable.
Yeah.
And you know, any time that it appears that the military is closing in on them, they start talking about amnesty. At a point, he was asking for it.
Yeah.
You know, so that is usually an opportunity for them to buy time and even arm themselves the more. So what we are being told now by the member representing Sabombrini West constituency in the House of Assembly of Sokoto State is that Bello Turji has actually shifted base to the eastern part of Issa local government. This Issa local government is located close to the border with Niger Republic. You know, Niger Republic, as I've said in the past, is like a failed state.
All right.
Many parts are not.
Sorry.
Many parts of Niger Republic are not inhabited by the soldiers. People just do what they like there. So if you are attacking him, you can move into one of those villages in Niger Republic and hide.
Of course, as you said, he knows the terrain.
Of course, both states, Zamfara and Sokoto, is operating freely.
We have company now. Tunde is reaching us from up north. So, Tunde, are you there? Welcome.
Good afternoon.
I greet you, sir. Welcome.
Yes. Abajide and Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I've been listening to your conversation this afternoon, and I so much love your assertions. What is there about the issue of Turji? That guy ought to be eliminated by all means. He has caused so many havocs, so many destructions, that he ought not to be pitied at all. You know, like Babajide is saying, he knew the terrains of all the nook and crannies of the jungle in North Central and the Northwest. And this is the reason why any terrorist that is caught need not to be rehabilitated by any government. They need to be eliminated. You know, Babajide will be on my side on this issue. You see, until when you have a good deterrent, this boy doesn't soften pedal. They feel recruiting young ones and giving them drugs and then molesting women in the jungle is the only way out for them to live. And they are only making caricature of Nigerian government. They ought to go out and eliminate this guy in the jungle. I know the chief of army staff is no nonsense man, but like Mayor has already said, they have to double up their efforts to make sure that this guy doesn't hold this country to ransom.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Yeah.
So I was trying to talk about some of the things that they had done. On January 10, 2025, Bello Turji killed 2 kidnapped victims from Issa local government after receiving ransom. Then there is Amsa Surudubu, a suspected gun runner and arms carrier supplying weapons to Bello Turji and others operating in the Northwest, was arrested. So it was a breakthrough to arrest somebody who takes weapons to him. And he was going to deliver those weapons at the time to Turji in a place called Turji and 2 other bandits, Halilu Buzu and one Boka, at the time when this guy was arrested. So our security forces, they are trying their best given the resources at their disposal. But we can't continue to have these notorious bandits harassing our people, telling our people to pay. In fact, they said he actually asked for 25 million, but they begged him and they agreed to 22, you know. So how much longer are we going to tolerate Bello Turji behaving in this manner? Because those places, though the north is by nature very expansive, it is difficult to cover, for the armed forces to cover every blade of grass in the whole of the northeast. So he knows that already, and all he does is move from place to place. I knew when he was in his home local government, or Shinkafi, today, we are being told that he has moved to Sokoto. Once they notice that there is too much bombardment in a particular area,
okay, they shift
because
base.
Zamfara is the epicenter of banditry.
Okay,
When bandits kidnap people, even in Niger, they sometimes will take them all the way to Zamfara. When they kidnapped the boys in Kankara, Katsina State, they took them to Safe local government in Zamfara. The school children who were kidnapped, this Muslim, what do they call them?
Almajiris?
No, they are not Almajiris, the ones that the Yorubas call Omolekeu. I don't know what to call that in English. They picked them up in Tegina, Niger State. It was in Zamfara that they eventually took those children to. So a lot of the bandits leaders, they are actually from Zamfara. Okay. So that place is like the capital of banditry. Now, because we focus so much on bombarding the Zamfara area, these boys are able to move to other places and torment Nigerians in those ways. We are told now that Turji has moved to Issa local government in Sokoto State. That's where it's operating from now, collecting levy from people, terrorizing our people, killing people after taking ransom. They do not fear God. A lot of these people, you can see them, they are bearing Muslim name, but in the real sense, they are not Muslims. They are even animists. Yeah. They are just deceiving themselves. Bello Turji will sometimes, even on Fridays, go out to say he's going to pray. He just needs tremendous intelligence and extra efforts to take this boy out. But again, even if you take him out, there are still others who are more dangerous than him. No,
but if you take him out, you have taken something out.
You have to. It's a comprehensive war against them that I want to see.
Okay.
Same here.
It's a comprehensive war, not a war in which you are bombing them in Zamfara, but you leave those in Niger. It has to be coordinated. If we want to defeat these people, I've said it repeatedly, I don't know why it's difficult to implement. Carry out a coordinated war across all those contiguous states. Correct. They can't escape.
Correct.
They can't escape. There will be nowhere to escape. They will be begging for mercy. Because these boys too are cowards. I saw them inside the market in Briningwari, and I was tapping them. I said, now you are free. You've come into the market to buy things. This reke that you are eating, if it was in the forest, do you know how much they will sell it to you? I said, well, you feel free now. Even your women, when they are pregnant, now they can come into the market. Before now, you would think that the Air Force will come and bomb you if you come out of your forest.
We have company. The man is Omotaya, reaching us from Abeokuta in Ogun State. Taya, are you there? Welcome.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, then.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Good afternoon.
I greet you.
You are doing wonderful work.
Thank you, Taya.
But what my suggestion is it possible for us not to be, making noise about these people? Let us silence them. We don't need to show whether we arrest people or not. Let us silence them. They are terrorizing the nation. We are still dealing with them in a civilized way. We have to combine the military force. We know where they are. So many times, Babajide will be talking about the hangout, this and that. Yes, know where they are. Why is it not possible for us to go and treat them there and feed them there? They are our enemy. We can treat them as our enemy. Then we can fight them like one.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
I think he's trying to say that we should not focus so much on them. I know people have called me to say, oh, sometimes you talk about ransom that is paid, that we should not talk about it. I do not see any sense in that. This is the extent to which they are terrorizing us. We have to talk about it.
But that is how we can.
We have to talk about it.
Gel up the security forces to do more.
People don't know what families are going through. When somebody tells you to go and bring 150 million, and you sold everything you had, okay, look at those parents. The university students that were kidnapped in Kaduna. One of them, the house that they had, the only thing that the man came out with, out of years of service, was that house. he had to sell the house to free his son.
Oh.
Some of those boys and girls were killed. So we will be deceiving ourselves if we do not admit that banditry is big business in our country, and that bandits are making billions of naira. Some of them are going to Kano and other places to buy houses, and they will say they want to pay in cash. If anybody comes and he says he wants to pay for an 80 million naira house in cash, you should know, you should be able to investigate the person.
You should be suspicious.
Why does he not want to go to the banks? So these guys are making money and investing the money in our urban centers. It's a big, big business. We have to admit the truth. People who are kidnapped, those train passengers, they were made to pay 100 million each. I think the Pakistani amongst them even paid 200 million.
Yeah, yes.
Come on, there's no
Because
way.
I know somebody that friends have to gather money.
Yes,
for
friends gathered money. Just so this is how big this thing is, and because it's this big, we must know that we are up against a very tough problem. We have to find a way. If we do not exterminate this guy, because I still believe that the efforts we are making are not enough. Let's know that we want to go to war. And thankfully, we know where they are. We can isolate them where they are, ensure that they don't escape, crush them. We've not found that, what do they call it? The political will.
Yeah, to want to do that.
To want to do that. We've not found that, and our people are suffering. The day we get up to say, okay, this is what we want to do, honestly, you see, they will be running helter-skelter.
Do you trust the army chief with the promise? His days are numbered.
I used to hear that even about Shekau. He took a rival leader.
Okay.
You know, Boko Haram was split into two factions.
Yeah.
It was Abu Musab al-Banawi that went all the way to where Shekau's camp was. He wanted to carry him alive because ISIS, Islamic State, said unite the two factions. That was the mandate that they gave him. You know, it was ISIS that actually named Abu Musab al-Banawi as leader of the group.
And not the other man.
They were tired of Shekau. They now said, okay, you from now. Because Shekau was just killing people unnecessarily. Somebody went to buy a motorcycle in Photocol in Cameroon. The next thing, you slaughtered him. So they got tired. I was killing fellow Muslims and all that. They now said, okay, we are going to pick this guy. He's the new leader of the group. I think in 2016 or so. Then later on, even Abanawi was removed by his own people. There was a mutiny. So, but later on, they named him again as Amir of the group, and then gave him the mandate to go and unite
the group.
He now launched an attack on Shekau. He said, you coward, today I'm going to get you. Once Shekau saw that he had been surrounded, he used the suicide belt that he had. That was how he wasted his own life. Abu Musab al-Banawi was injured in that operation, and he eventually succumbed to his injuries. That's how those two iconic leaders of Boko Haram, eventually they are gone. Today they are still fighting one another. You read about factions of Boko Haram killing one another. A faction will come, seize wives of the other people, seize their women. Those ones will then launch an attack to try to free their women. Many of their fighters will die in the process. So this is where we are on the Boko Haram group.
Time to call their bluff.
So I said this because sometimes the most notorious bandits get killed by their rivals, not necessarily by the armed forces.
That's it.
Buhari Daji, who was the leader of bandits in Zamfara, was killed by Dogo Gide after he stole cattle belonging to Dogo Gide's in-laws. He left his corpse to rot in the forest, Dansadao forest.
Okay.
After that, we saw another bandit leader kill Sani Gote. Sani Dangote was the one in control of Shimfida area of Katsina State. That whole area was in his hands. He was the one who killed about 18 soldiers in one day. You know? So, but invariably, there was a conflict between him and another bandit leader. That one now went to his camp and killed him. I had done stories about Sani Gote. I even went close to his camp. I have videos of even his camp. He took over a government building, a school. He turned the school to his camp.
Okay.
So there's a lot of nonsense happening that we can't even be talking about here. So beyond even the quarrels among them leading to deaths of bandit leaders, we have to find a way, identify these guys, and kill them where they are. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, okay then. Again, our job is done. Let the debate continue.